So as a Virgo midheaven, this is actually one of those tricky midheavens because you share a planet with Gemini, but you're a different expression of the same planet. So for starters, Mercury rules over both Gemini and Virgo. Mercury rules over things like youthfulness, vitality, energy, fast, cleverness, smartness, intelligence, right? However, Gemini is sort of, I don't want to say the darker, but it's like the more manipulative version of Mercury. It's trickery, it's manipulation, it's mind games, it's like neuroticism, and it's vitality, okay? Virgo is the more controlled expression of mercurial energy. So what does this look like? This looks like organization, spreadsheets, to-do lists, planners, glasses, school, education, not mind games, but mental stimulation, board games, things like that. So how does that translate to your aesthetic vibe and your visual branding as a Virgo midheaven? So the thing about Virgo midheavens is your branding can go one of two ways. And yeah, so let's get into it. So this is the branding that everyone expects. Everyone expects you to be good, okay? There's sort of like this version whore complex with the Virgo midheavens where you get casted as like the good girl, or the girl who would do no wrong, or the girl who looks perfect, the girl who is perfect, who gets good grades, in a scholastic sense or a metaphorical sense, or the woman who has it all in a practical sense, like she has her life together. She's a clean girl. She's very structured and, she's pretty stable, right? That's the image that people want from you and expect from you and really project onto you. However, there's this other side of Virgo that a lot of Virgo midheavens tend to capitalize on, and that is the good girl gone bad effect. So, yes, you have the sign Gemini that you share the planet Mercury with. Gemini is like the younger sister of Virgo. Secretly, Virgo wishes it could be Gemini, and your IC is actually Pisces anyway. So Pisces energy is very scattered, very unorganized. However, as a Virgo midheaven, you sort of have to structure yourself and tap into that earthy energy. But what a lot of Virgo midheavens do and are very successful at is using contrast marketing. What is contrast marketing? It is when someone expects you to be some way, but you behave some way else, which is mercurial in essence, because you're playing mind games with people's perception. So contrast marketing works very well with the Virgo midheavens visually and aesthetically. Examples of this would be like Cassie Howard in Euphoria. In season 1, she wasn't really like a good girl, but she was seen as like the noble one, the loyal friend, the ride or die. But then she kind of goes bad in season 2, and she changes her whole aesthetic, and she just has like a bad girl phase. That's very Virgo midheaven. And she sort of sacrifices herself for like some guy. It's like the good girl gone bad. Lily Rose Depp is another Virgo midheaven. In her show, The Idol, originally it was supposed to be a show about like some child pop star who has to deal with the death of her mom, but they cut out those scenes. However, the structure still remained in the show, and then we were supposed to see her transform from this pop star good girl into like this bad girl who falls for like this musical cult leader, which is in the show, which would be The Weeknd Abel. So your aesthetics can go one of two ways. You could either do the good girl gone bad effect, the Madonna whore complex, kind of the coquette aesthetic, or you could go very practical, very scholastic, very minimalist, very holistic. Your colors are light green or forest green, white, like a creamy white, and then you have, of course, the brown, but like not like a dark brown, like a medium, not beige, but like a woody, nice brown. Your makeup should be very fresh, very minimalist, very clean, very rosy. When it comes to like the blush, it has to feel very fresh when it comes to the makeup. And the aesthetics, again, I repeated them all throughout the video.